Hello everybody and welcome to a Bramble Nation video on the interesting connection between Iron Man and the Matrix. The connection takes place in issue 307 of Iron Man Volume 1. A couple important things to note. This comic came out in 1994, but the Matrix didn't come out until 1999, and the plot is somewhat similar, though relatively different, enough that I could say that there probably isn't a direct connection between the two, but it does look like it might be maybe an homage, or at least some inspiration coming from this comic book. So to get into the digital world to fight his enemy, Tony Stark has to get inserted in some way. And so to do that, he hooks up with this programmer guy who looks at the bandwidth protocols and inserts him in the Matrix emulation. They also mention the Matrix in this panel as Tony Stark gears up to enter to the digital world. You can actually see him say, "Matrix link established." What I think is most interesting is that the imagery is very similar between the Matrix and this comic in particular. Now remember that the Matrix was done in 1999 and this was done in 1994. Here you can see a side-by-side shot of Tony Stark in the chair prepping to go into the Matrix, and Neo in a chair already inserted into the Matrix. In this side-by-side, you can see Tony Stark and Neo just exiting the Matrix after having a difficult time and both being comforted. Here we have the enemy in both versions of Iron Man and the Matrix finding his way out into the real world by possessing a human host. This image is actually the most striking to me because you can actually see what looks like the same angle on the face, roughly the same expression. These two are just a perfect side by side. As a slight sidebar, it does look like Cypher from the Matrix and the Mandarin from Iron Man are very similar. Check out that mustache. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on BrambleNation.com.